Thank you, Chairman. So on a lighter note, because you always have to have a lighter note, right? Everybody's got a smile once in a while. The Chairman mentioned that some of the recruiting difficulties we've had when you met with some folks was because of the psychiatric testing and a shortage of psychiatrists. I just got to tell you, I think it's real good that to be a member of Congress, you don't have to go through that psychiatric testing. All right? What do you think, Chairman? Right? We've been here a few years. I just wanted to acknowledge that the FAA really has been doing a good job, and it's an incredible job addressing the recent events, the tragic events that we've all gone through. And it's an invaluable asset to this nation. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'm always happy to support them. And as you know, I have the FAA Tech Center in my district in the state of New Jersey. Good people do a good job. I'm proud of them, I'm proud of what they represent, proud of the work that they do. And you knew, and you've touched on this already, so I'm not going to go into detail. We have 1,020 fewer certified professional controllers than in 2012, 9% decrease in the number, and yet we have an increase in the responsibilities, the work, and the volume that's there. It's a lengthy training process. We talked about that. The bottom line is we got to do better, and I think Secretary Duffy really knows that. I think it's abundantly clear, and I'm hoping in a bipartisan way on both sides of the aisle that when it comes to this, regardless of some nuances and differences in opinion on some things, that we've got to do better. And I brought this up to Mr. Spiro last time you were here. I don't know if you remember, but Atlantic City International Airport, and of course, I did a tour. I've toured the FAA numerous times. The 177th Fighter Wing is right next door. And of course, the air traffic controllers that went up in the tower, interesting, they were still using floppy disks. I know that they're changing that this year, is my understanding. Hopefully they've changed it already. But just so people understand that aren't involved in this industry, this business, weren't in Congress, they were using this to update their IDS-4 systems as a technology from 1994, not 2004, not 2012, 1994. And again, if it wasn't sad, it would be humorous. They had a difficult time obtaining these discs, so they would go to places like Sam's Warehouse and other such retail stores to actually get, what they needed. That's not how we become the best, the brightest, the sharpest, the fastest. That's not how America's number one. So thank goodness they're changing that. Mr. Spiro, can you give us any update on what's going on there at AC quickly?
Thank you, Congressman. And yes, I do remember our interaction last time on this topic. So the EIDS system is currently in process. We've got some folks working with them on it. I do want to tell you that there's a question of whether or not right now the FAA is going to terminate our participation in this program and some others. So we bring a lot of technical expertise that's necessary for a smooth and swift implementation on this system. So there's about 400 of them to roll out, and the FAA is saying it's going to take them till about 2030 to make that happen. We don't think that, I mean, honestly, and I said before, and I said to you last time I was here, if our workforce was properly staffed and properly resourced, we would be able to participate in the implementation of this system, but we're not. We don't have enough of us out there to do this. But honestly, it's from the technical perspective of an installation, it is not one of the more complicated things to accomplish. It can be done in a week or so.
Hopefully Secretary Duffy will help with this, because we really got to get moving. I agree with you. It's important. I'm going to ask a question. Any one of you are free to answer. It's going to be a little different. Anybody has the guts to answer it. So last year, we all remember drones. I'm not talking about we're behind in the technology and all the technical issues. A lot of people saw them. A lot of people saw them. There were sightings. The Coast Guard saw them. The nuclear plant in my district, professionals saw them. Chiefs of police were in my office the other day, and they asked if I could find out more about it. Originally, they said that they didn't know what it was. The Pentagon didn't know what it was, Department of Defense. They knew it was something, nothing to fear. They didn't know where they were going, what they had, but nothing to worry about. Then we were told that it was just backyard drones. We found out that wasn't accurate either. And now recently we've been told it was the FAA, which I don't understand, because if it was the FAA, wouldn't we have communicated? We spent a lot of money getting the Department of Defense out there, getting advanced radar systems out there that could detect if they were doing frequency skipping, spent money with the different agencies, police officers, the municipal police, chiefs of police, none of them knew what was going on. Can anybody tell me if it was the FAA, why wasn't there some level of communication? Mr. Daniels, you look like a brave man.
Congressman, I'll jump in. If it was the FAA, we have standards and rules associated with who can we operate in and around the airspace for any type of drones. That means we weren't aware of it, and we remain committed to working with the agency and ensuring that that situational awareness occurs in and around all of our airports.
Yeah, well, that's good and all, and I'm going to yield in a second. Something's up. I don't know. It was either a gross malfunction, dysfunction in communication, horrible, or there's something more to it, one or the other. And I still don't, nobody can give me a good answer. I yield back, Chairman.